Everything that Lomachenko does inside the ring is mentally and physically draining to his opponents. It forces them to think, rethink, and overthink their strategies. In this sequence, Loma was backing up Kambosos while changing his head slot, showing his lead hand, touching his gloves, changing his head slot again, dipping and feinting downstairs, and probing with a jab. These movements will soon elicit different responses that will cater to Loma's attacks. From round one, Kambosos sought to establish a consistent body attack on Loma. It felt like he completely abandoned it in later rounds, but the thing is, Loma already made adjustments early. Using a jab, Kambosos set up his body attack by baiting Loma to lower his center line when he dips or changes his head slot. Loma caught wind of this tactic early, so instead of covering up, a step back with evasive movement neutralized Kambosos' body attacks. And since he was in a vulnerable position each time he tried to get to Loma's body and missed, it got to a point where Loma was punishing him for it. Loma masterfully uses different tactics to set up his offense in the pocket. Giving different looks and various movements of his active guard play a crucial role in setting up his attacks. First, as you will see here, is the guard peeling. As Loma peels away Kambosos' lead guard, he almost simultaneously shoots a left cross right onto the opponent's face. He also does it while on the front foot and backing up the opponent. Here, Loma shows his left hand right between the cracks of Kambosos' guard. The opponent's instinct is to tighten his right side's guard, but it was just a ruse so that Loma could land an unimpeded right hook. Then Loma adds another wrinkle to it by combining it with his guard peeling. He forces the opponent to open up and get countered by touching and jabbing him consistently. Giving the opponent different looks and showing enticing targets will also draw out reactions that can be countered. Without entirely realizing it, Kambosos was fighting Loma's fight, and he got sucked in deep. There were moments when it seemed impossible for Loma to land an effective punch at such an odd proximity, but he was always where he needed to be. Lomachenko's attack was consistent throughout the fight, and nothing was more consistent than his swivel jab, which is a jab that is thrown with lead hook mechanics. Lomachenko will enter and exit at different angles, followed by a step back for added safety. After walking down to the ropes and unleashing an offensive surge, Loma will pull Kambosos back to the center of the ring so he can set up and do everything all over again. As rounds went by and Loma became more comfortable, Kambosos had less and less place to hide. Loma was demolishing Kambosos in the pocket and inside. Kambosos had some success neutralizing Loma's angles in the first few rounds. Here, Kambosos steps and occupies the slot Loma just vacated while extending his lead hand to keep Loma in check. However, as with most of Lomachenko's opponents, he had to remember and keep track of many things Loma was feeding him, so he was bound to make mistakes down the line. Here, Kambosos pivots on the spot and follows Loma with an ineffective cross thrown past his lead shoulder. As you can see, it was not effective because Loma was already a step away. Here, Loma steps to the outside. As he misses with a left, Kambosos pivots on the spot again, putting himself in a vulnerable position. Naturally, Loma takes advantage. And it made no difference when Kambosos was on the front foot because Loma knew how to pick his spot and exploit every little mistake that Kambosos made. After several rounds of headhunting, a key moment in round 7 revealed part of Lomachenko's strategy. Here, Kambosos falls after missing with a left hook. Now, while you can argue that he went off balance, that was a tell for Loma that Kambosos was primed and ready to be taken out of there. When Kambosos got up and the fight resumed, Loma started viciously attacking Kambosos' body.
Last 3 rounds, of course, I was trying to find his body.
Round 11, Loma dropped Kambosos with a thunderous short left hand to the head, which should have been counted as a knockdown. Each time the fight gets into a lull, Kambosos protects upstairs after taking too many surprise headshots. But this time, Loma goes to the body again. Kambosos got up, but was stopped with multiple body shots once and for all. Most fighters will invest in killing the body first, but Loma did the opposite. He went to the body later. I also watched Canelo and Inoue fight this month, but honestly, I enjoyed watching Lomachenko more. He fought a brilliant fight against a game opponent and thoroughly outclassed him. What did you think of Lomachenko's performance?